can we do more of this? And then he kind of toned it down in his campaign. But his district is, separate from where I live, which is part of it. He's, I think, mostly in the Upper East Side,
Yeah.
and that kind of kooky on him drive is not the same, or the more, where somebody a little more, not mainstream, or a little. I don't know if he's not really leftist. He's kind of he's on the left, but he's not also like a typical establishment Democrat type. So, I think a lot of people did like that, but that district is much more on the Upper East Side, much more traditional Democrat in the way that Gerald Nadler was, which was his, in the way that Carolyn Maloney was, which was hers. So, I mean, that's really the case, and the endorsements that Michael Lasha got from everybody and people that I thought would have done better, that I'm upset about, I think it definitely helped him. But I think Jack just couldn't get the right start, to be honest.
Okay. Well, because I thought he was doing well.
I met them all in person. I mean, I was most impressed with Alex. Honestly, and he's a good-looking man as well. And Jack was fun. But I think he's also another one. Like, he can tone his, he can like, tune his presentation a little better, be more clear on issues, because him being a little bit, floppy or nonsensical. But look, he'll probably, hopefully run again.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, because I think he could be a really, really interesting person to have in Congress. I would be so excited. Instead, we're just going to get the regulars again.
Regular.
No, I think they're going to see him come back. I'm hoping.
I hope so.
I think he also did that for his sister.
I think if you're going to run,
continued.
This is just my read, Scotty, you're way closer to this. It would seem, though, the Democratic primary 2026, if you are an oligarch and you want to win, you really have to be a soft. You really have to bring something special. You either have to stake out a position on policy that is really... the guy's an oligarch. And I think we're in an environment where, at least in the Democratic Party,
even sell only white dolls to kids.
Right.
That's fucked up. That's
You're breaking up.
What's happening? To distinguish himself.
I couldn't hear you.
Really?
No, I couldn't hear you. I don't know.
Yeah, you gotta back up. Like 3 minutes, 2 minutes.
I want to hear what you have to say, though. I'm sorry. I would like to hear what you have to say.
And Wi-Fi and 5G data or whatever is competing, or Bluetooth.
Tao can be talked about, but not the eternal Tao. Tao can be talked about, but not the eternal Tao. Names can be named, but not the eternal name. As the origin of heaven and earth, it is nameless. As the mother of all things, it is nameless. So as ever hidden, we should look look at it, it's interesting. When all the world recognizes beauty as beauty, this in itself is ugliness. When all the world recognizes good as good, this in itself is evil. Indeed, the hidden and the manifest give birth to each other. Difficult and easy complement each other. Long and short exhibit each other. High and low set measure to each other. Voice and sound harmonize each other. Back and front follow each other. Therefore the sage manages his affairs without ado and spreads his teaching without talking. He delays nothing to the teeming things. He rears them but lays no claim to them. He does his work but sets no store by it. He accomplishes his task but does not dwell upon it. And yet it is just because he does not dwell on it that nobody can ever take it away from him. As always manifest, we should look at its outer aspects. These two flow from the same source, though differently named, and both are called mysteries. The mystery of mysteries is the door of all essence. By not exalting the talented, you will cause the people to cease from rivalry and contention. By not prizing goods hard to get, you will cause the people to cease from robbing and stealing. By not displaying what is desirable, you will cause the people's hearts to remain undisturbed. Therefore, the sage's way of governing begins by emptying the heart of desire, filling the belly with food, weakening the ambitions, toughening the bones. In this way, he will cause the people to remain without knowledge and without desire, and prevent the knowing ones from any ado. Practice non-ado, and everything will be in order. The towel is like an empty bowl, which in being used can never be filled up. Fathomless, it seems to be the origin of all things. It blunts all sharp edges, it bends how it is all tangled. It harmonizes all lights, it unites the world into one whole, hidden in the deeps. Yet it seems to exist forever. I do not know whose child it is. It seems to be the common ancestor of all, the father of things. Heaven and earth is not sentimental. It treats all things as straw dogs. The sage is not sentimental. He treats all his people as straw dogs. Between heaven and earth, there seems to be a bellows. It is empty, and yet it is inexhaustible the more it works.
Albino kids.
Hi, excuse me, but I got a question. How does Bima respond to the accusations of being labeled a Karen?
I'm not a Karen because I wouldn't ever force a company to do something, and I wouldn't legislate a company to do something, but it's just free market feedback. You guys are weird.
I don't know.
I think it's weird that on Clubhouse people say that's weird when they got no real evidence to support the conversation anymore. That's what's weird.
I mean, if I were white, because I'm not white, right? I'm just part white, ancestry. I'm not white. So I don't feel a connection to it.
Are you
I don't
yellow?
want to be.
Are you brown?
I'm black. But
You're
it's like,
you're
I don't feel a
black?
connection to it. So it's like because
I don't
I'm
believe
white,
you.
I don't feel a connection
I don't
to
believe
it.
you. You don't sound black.
I'm definitely not black.
Well, you just said you're black, and you're not white.
I did say I was black. I'm not white either.
Then what are you?
I don't know.
Are you a man?
I hope so.
Great. What's your point?
Well, my point is that if I were white, from that perspective, I can understand where Beaver and Fangs is coming from because, like, if I were to grow up as, and I'm just gonna be honest, like unbiased, if I grow up as a white man, and you get told like since history that like you're the enemy, in every history book you're the villain, you're always seen as a bad guy, you're never seen as a good person. You know, every time you hear about how white people do so much crime against humanity in every faction of life, and then now you start to see these places where you start to see people spam, you know, racist things to white people that would be racist if it were in reverse. If you go on the internet, you look, you see people say things like, well, white men have a this XYZ problem, or white men make me uncomfortable, or white. But if the roles were reversed, that person would be canceled. And I can understand the feeling on that side, given, you know, that if I'm white and I'm seeing all this pushback for being white, I'm going to feel offended, of course.
Do you feel like other
Right.
white people have to almost make up for that? Like,
Right.
guilt that they have to make
Right,
up for white people.
and that point too, right, and that's the point too, where like other white people would tell you like, you know, who you are as a person, like you need to always be sorry, you have to apologize about being white, you know, and I get that point, but I also get Beamer's point too, where it's like, from her perspective, it's like, okay, we have minorities who have these issues, and you have the white majority, and then you have the supremacy issue, then you have the historical context, but then Beaver's point is also correct, where it's like, you know, if Asian people can create their own things, whatever. If black people can create their own black-owned products, why is it wrong for white people to do the same thing too? And I get that. And so I don't think
It's because white people don't have black hair.
It's
It's all about black female hair in the beauty industry, D.
Right. So hold on. I get where Bima, like the point that I disagree with Bima is maybe the kid. You know, I don't think a young kid is really thinking in a racialized lens. So maybe it's a little bit too far for me, but I don't see evil intent in Bima, but I do see the pushback. So Bima, if you're gonna say it, you're gonna get a lot of pushback for it because there is a lot of. I do see the like.
Yeah, no one's accusing Bima of evil intent. When we say Karen, we just mean someone who sounds annoying. It doesn't mean they're evil. They just sound annoying. And so, naturally, because this is an audio conference call app, when somebody sounds like an annoying woman, we just say that's a Karen. But we all know Bima has a heart of gold. Otherwise, you know, we wouldn't be here entertaining what she has to say. That's the truth.
When she told the story and she read both of the letters to me, I said, okay,
Uh-huh.
the doll is not other children. The doll is one specific child.
Uh-huh.
And not knowing that immediately triggered her to immediately write a letter and say, hey, you need to have more diversity within the toys that you make. And this
I didn't know that it was one. I didn't know that it was one character because they're all different things.
But that's exactly what I'm telling you, is that you made a conscious decision to think racially instead of just thinking that this was just one toy or this is just was the company's logo or mascot. You didn't think that. The first thing you thought
they're all
was racial.
different.
Okay,
Well,
that's
because
my
they're all
issue.
different.
That's
yeah,
my
because
issue.
they're right because they're all different.
Do not
Okay.
Except
interrupt.
they're all
No one
the same
interrupts.
race. We make foreign power.
Can you stop interrupting me? I'm trying to get the point across that we need to start capital executions of all the people on.
Anyone else wants to just start interrupting, you're just gonna move to the goo without warning. This is my first and last one.
What we're talking about.
Okay?
And you're somehow trying to sweep that under the rug because you're like, oh, well, I'm just giving them some feedback about their doll. Like, hello, I'm being a good customer. Like, no, that's called being annoying. And it was unnecessary.
You're in the Matrix, Block.
I think Beamer's woke, man. She the wokest person on this goddamn stage.
Well, she's dating a guy that looks just like you, Timothy. He drives a truck. It's her love. It's her
You know
lover.
what they say about woke people? They don't get enough sleep to think clearly.
Thanks, you are black. sorry,
See,
what the hell?
Bima's a good
Like, what the hell?
person,
No
and
way,
it's
you're
not
not-
just
you're
the
not
way
a
she
sniper.
sounds, it's also what she says, which is annoying. But see, the thing that you guys don't realize is that I record her and put her on YouTube, and I just consider it the Bima show. I don't judge what she says.
John,
I don't.
nobody's voting for you.
Well, nobody's voting for you either. And who made you green bean god? But the point is, it's the Bima show. Take it away, Bima.
Thanks, John. Yeah, so I just disagree with what your idea is, things. I didn't. When you look at our children and you want everybody to feel included. I didn't invent race. Okay, like that wasn't something that,
Of course.
right? By noticing it. Okay, so when you look at things like race and then representation, these are things that are part of how
How
society
can be
functions.
talked about, but not the eternal time. Names can be named, but not the eternal name. As the origin of heaven and earth, it is nameless. As the mother of all things, it is nameable. So as ever hidden, we should look at its inner essence. When all the world recognizes beauty as beauty, this in itself is ugliness. When all the world recognizes good as good, this in itself is evil. Indeed, the hidden and the manifest give birth to each other. Difficult and easy complement each other. Long and short exhibit each other. High and low set measure to each other. Voice and sound harmonize each other. Back and front follow each other. Therefore the sage manages his affairs without ado and spreads his teaching without talking. He delays nothing to the teeming things. He rears them but lays no claim to them. He does his work but sets no store by it. He accomplishes his task but does not dwell upon it. And yet it is just because he does not dwell on it that nobody can ever take it away from him. As always manifest, we should look at its outer aspects. These two flow from the same source, though differently named, and both are called mysteries. The mystery of mysteries is the door of all essence. By not exalting the talented, you will cause the people to cease from rivalry and contention. By not prizing goods hard to get, you will cause the people to cease from robbing and stealing. By not displaying what is desirable, you will cause
canceled for this sort of that type of stuff. So when you lead by that rhetoric, it can make other people think, oh well, you got something racial going on here. People get canceled for stuff.
That's the free market. I'm sorry,
No,
you don't like it.
That's
no,
people
exactly.
like you like to cancel people for even the most minorest things.
Absolutely. If you're listen, for that is the free market. And what you're saying, people like me, what I believe is that people get to make their decisions as individuals, and they get to put their right. Exactly. So what's the problem with that? The problem with this is that the problem with it is that you used it, and now you're using this sort of free market thing as an excuse as to just harass anyone you feel as though is doing something racial.
It's not harassment, brother.
Again, you're using the word harassment because
they can take it as harassment. It's not harassment, but they can take it as.
You don't have a better argument, things. You're just.
Thank God you told me the letter, because when you read that letter that they sent back to you, they sounded very nice, and they had to educate you real fast before they think
my letter didn't sound. My letter didn't sound horrible.
It didn't.
Even if it did, these companies ask for feedback all the time. So just because her feedback wasn't positive feedback, that doesn't mean that it's harassment.
So can I go to an Asian store and tell them that they need to start selling more?
If you're a company and you do whatever, if you make some food, whatever you do, I'm pretty sure you want to hear back from your customers, the community, X, Y, and Z.
Not really.
Okay.
And I've worked in a couple of businesses before. The majority of those letters that you saw, quote unquote, they're mostly complaints. They're mostly demands. So just because this one was maybe somewhat
when we all go to the store and they print your receipt, and on that receipt it asks for you to do a survey, or when they ask for feedback, that's not
what the supermarket that you get the stuff from.
Or anything. I mean.
No, they mostly ask you to donate an extra $1 for some sort of charity. I don't know what feedback survey they're giving you.
No, he's talking about is just normal companies. Regular companies are constantly trying to improve their.
Towels can be talked about, but not the eternal towel. Names can be named, but not the eternal name. As the origin of heaven and earth in his name was, as the mother of all things it is nameable. So as ever hidden, we should look at its inner essence. When all the world recognizes beauty as beauty, this in itself is ugliness. When all the world recognizes good as good, this in itself is evil. Indeed, the hidden and the manifest give birth to each other. Difficult and easy complement each other. Long and short exhibit each other. High and low set measure to each other. Voice and sound harmonize each other. Back and front follow each other. Therefore the sage manages his affairs without ado and spreads his teachings.
Hey Matthew, have you thought about coming up with a line of dolls to accompany your perfumes, Matthew?
Without talking, he denies nothing to the teasing things. He rears them but lays no claim to them. He does his work but sets no store by it. He accomplishes his task but does not dwell upon it. And yet it is just because he does not dwell on it that nobody can ever take it away from him. As always manifest, we should look at its outer aspects. These two flow from the same source, though differently named, and both are called mysteries. The mystery of mysteries is cause the people to cease from rivalry and contention. By not prizing goods hard to get, you will cause the people to cease from robbing and stealing. By not displaying what is desirable, you would cause the people's hearts to remain undisturbed. Therefore, the sage's way of governing begins by emptying the heart of desire, filling the belly with food, weakening the ambitions, toughening the bones. In this way, he will cause the people.
There's two consequences. There's two potential outcomes that could have happened when I wrote this letter. One, they completely ignored it and they don't give a shit. Two, they say, oh, do you know what? I've actually gotten this same exact email however many times. Let's put this in a file and let's start to reflect this throughout our business practice, and then they change the business practice. And then you laugh like that because that's exactly how that's exactly how this type of shit works.
Yeah, but if you go to business economics, like you were just talking about business economics, you would know that if you were creating a certain product for everyone, then obviously the inclusion would be there. But if it's just a specific character like Chucky or some sort of other character, then they're going to only make those versions of it, especially if it's some sort of popular doll. So that's why I said you're wasting those energies to go out your way to complain about something that's unnecessary.
You keep referring back to and you're trying to backtrack. I told you and I explained that I learned that it was one character in their email to me. I didn't know that it was one
Karma. That's just called karma because you wasted your time.
It's not called karma. Things, I'm sorry that you have such a sad outlook on society and you don't trust yourself and you feel like you have no responsibility over what comes. This is called
It's not that serious. It's not that serious. My race war is not gonna start because of a doll.
I feel like I'm not saying that a race we're supposed to start. I'm asking you what are the consequences of what my message and what my email could have done to the company and what it could potentially be versus it being completely ignored.
I have to agree with Bima here. I think Bima is doing the Lord's work and really letting her intuition and willpower manifest into actual political change on the ground. I salute you, Bima. And don't let the haters hate. You're not just a Karen. You might be more than a Karen. Who knows? We don't know everything about you, do we, sweetheart? God bless you, Bima.
On the board and the head of the CEO making decisions.
perfumes for everyone. Like, what the fuck? I'll make perfumes for everybody, right? And if there's like a niche where they're like, hey, I want like one of your perfumes, that's pretty fucking cool. Yeah, I'll make it. Why not? You know, a couple Asian influencers told me they'd love to see
make like a plum blossom kind of perfume, but using different notes than that are typically used to make this plum blossom. So
That's different.
I'll give it a try.
I know what you're saying, but that's completely different.
Yeah, for me, like I'm kind of actually, to be honest, Bima, I don't think like I get like the thing that's different from child birth. I think where Bima's coming from is that like if you have kids that are like Asian or Mexican or black or something, and then they're playing with dolls that are exclusively like white girl dolls. I've heard this argument before, and I don't know like to what degree to think about it, because sometimes I think like really far left thinking is a little bit like cuckoo for me, because I went to art school and there were people who were super far left. No, I'm not calling it cuckoo. I'm just saying that there's some people that are extremely, extremely left, and they're like, look, they could create like mental damage if you have like black little girls playing with white dolls or something. And like I get it, it's because they're a minority, and then like when little kids are watching the cartoons, they usually see just like people that look different from them. I'm not sure like to what. I'm just saying that this conversation exists, right? I'm not saying what I personally think about it, right?
Matthew, if I buy myself some syrup and see the Aunt Jemima girl on there, and I write that same company that made the Aunt Jemima maple syrup and said, hey, you know what you should do? You should put a white lady instead of a black lady on there, just to create more diversity. You know, more people can buy this and, you know, feel included buying your syrup because there's more, you know, people on there instead of just a black lady. How do you think that would make me look today?
Well, you know what, bro? The funny thing is, Aunt Jemima, she's like one of the first like millionaire black peoples. Did you guys know this?
It's just crazy that you have to feel. It's just crazy that you have to identify and feel and almost, you know, have the same thing in your body. Like it's really strange.
Yeah, you know what's funny is,
and we don't keep that metric with anybody else. Like with anything else.
Matthew, could you maybe make me a perfume called Aunt Jemima's perfume? I'd like to buy that from you, Matthew.
Did Carmelo Anthony ever write back to you? What did it?
what did they do? Like they cheated with Carmelo Did you guys know that like the very first female millionaire in the United States was a black lady? I just learned about this recently.
Bima, you need to account for this to answer.
Matthew, do you like Jean-Paul Gaultier, Le Main?
Demand an explanation.
I don't know. I don't know if he got it yet. I have to ask my friend who calls him. She calls in. I haven't called him. I'm not gonna call him, but
Read the letter.
I'll ask her.
You include that in your underwear?
That's disgusting.
Oh, that's funny. Bima just teasing. They're just teasing you. I mean, you have a really good heart, but yeah.
Well, this is America, where the Karens live.
Anyways, you know what? I was just watching a travel show. This fucking, what is it? Kigali City in Rwanda. The place looks fucking amazing.
Matthew, can you make me a perfume called Kigali City? I'd like to buy it from you tonight.
Yeah, it's apparently like the safest, cleanest city in the world. It's fucking looks very cool.
It's beautiful.
Matthew, do you have a beret? Because I'd like to send you a beret, Matthew. I think you'd look very handsome walking around Kigali City in a beret. And I would like for you to clone Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Mail for me. Thank you, Matthew.
Jean-Paul Gaultier, the designer?
The perfume, La Mal. Perfume. It's a famous formula. I actually know it. I memorized it.
Hello, Thunder. Would you like to speak? Or Edward? Bima, why did you sigh just a second ago?
So D, you've been there? You've been to Kigali?
Wait, I asked a question, so don't interrupt. No, Beaver, go ahead.
John Kitover is annoying me.
Someone asked me a question, right? Beaver? Yeah,
I'd like to ask when did you make the letter?
Carmelo Anthony's
not gonna get it done, y'all. That's not gonna get it done, y'all. Alright, we need to get provocative.
No, it was recent. It might not have even gotten to him yet. It has to go. It has to go through all of these.
We need a little more sizzle on the top, y'all. This is not gonna do it. Alright? We need some reparations. We need some, Donald Trump
Anthony
2028.
Anthony fired up, pumped up, super excited.
Wait, will you read the letter, Beamer, that you wrote to Carmelo?
No, I'm not doing that.
Actually, I would love to hear it.
You're diabolical.
Yes, delete it.
You are diabolical.
Delete it. Write another letter saying, "I'm very sorry. Thank you for your time."
Dear Carmelo, I pray to Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, every day for the capital punishment execution program with the United States government to be reinstituted to rid ourselves from human pieces of shit like you forever. God bless in the name of our Lord, Father, Jesus Christ, amen.
You wouldn't get the death penalty, the Supreme Court did away with that in 17, but
I don't want to talk about this. Please don't talk about this.
no problem.
It's too upsetting. Thank you. Let's talk about something else.
What is the title of the room?
You changed to Beaver.
Hey man, you kill, you kill. If you kill, you go to jail.
Can you maybe create me a perfume called,
No, not everybody that kills goes to jail. Thanks.
What did Carmelo say before he stabbed him in the chest? He's like, fuck around and find out.
Yeah, not everybody that defends themselves gets to walk.
Was Carmelo defending himself?
Facts, absolutely.
He was defending himself. It was
110%.
100%. 110%.
What do you mean, how?
Did the other person where was the other person's weapon?
It doesn't matter.
I think it does.
Okay, well, we could just. What about the last?
This isn't West Side Story. Everybody doesn't have to have a knife.
Parking lot. He didn't have no weapon. He was just walking.
Yeah,
Look
that's
at all.
I want to dedicate this next flute song to Carmelo for you all.
Defense. Yeah, but my point is, if they walk, they get to go home, and they get to walk home.
Yeah, but just because somebody walks up to you and says, "Hey, you can't be here," doesn't give you the right to just stab somebody. Sorry.
Of course not. Yeah, but that's not what happened, is it?
No, that wasn't the case.
No,
You act like
sorry,
you did
Fangs. That's not what happened.
came over and just put
Hands
that
on him.
And so he got stabbed.
The Holy Spirit came down from outer space in heaven, took a knife, and plunged it into his chest. It wasn't him. It wasn't Carmelo.
People over here in New Jersey.
Sweet, beautiful baby boy Carmelo would never do such a thing.
Yeah, I almost went to jail for something like that. Just because someone puts their hands on you to try to maybe push you out the way or something like that, that doesn't mean you get to now use extreme violence against them. Maybe if you pushed them and got into a scuffle, that'd be a different story. You stabbing somebody is not the answer or a response to someone just touching you. If it is, then the majority of us will be dead. And majority of us will be in prison if that was really the case.
Yeah, you said context matters. Thanks.
The context does matter. Don't stab somebody just because they put their hands on you.
Don't threaten and then intimidate and then initiate violent aggression upon a peaceful person who's sitting there who has no responsibility to calibrate his defense in response to protect his assaulter. Okay, what Austin Metcalf? Listen, Austin Metcalf is the criminal. He's the first mover. He's the first criminal.
What are his charges?
Well, he didn't get it because he's dead.
Okay, what were his charges? My question to you
It
is,
would have been assault, a misdemeanor. You could look it up in
what was the assault? First of all, to assault someone, you have to give me the description of the assault. What was the assault?
It's attack on him.
Okay, give me the description of the assault. Did he punch him? Did he smack him?
Yeah, he moved, he threatened him, and then he moved, he
No,
said he was
that's
gonna
not-
move him, and then he grabbed him. Yeah, he did.
That's
He
not
grabbed him and he
assault.
touched him. Well, you need to look at the laws
That's
because it
threatening and
absolutely is.
intimidation at its finest. That's not
as
assault.
as soon as you move, and all of the testimony proves this, right? They talk about the type of initiation of force that Austin Metcalf used, and in the least, it could be a class C misdemeanor. I have to grab it, or it could be even as something here. Let me grab it. But there's
Right.
two.
Yeah.
Right.
In this
It doesn't
scene,
matter. In
teenagers-
either way, it was a crime that he.
Yeah, either way, he deserves to get killed for it. That's what you're saying.
No, I'm saying no. That's not what we're litigating. We weren't litigating
that he was
whether
no. Listen to what you're saying. You're justifying it. Yes, you are, because you just justified it. You say, oh, if you don't do that, then you won't get stabbed.
Well, no, we're saying that somebody doesn't have the authority. You don't have the moral authority. Hold on. You don't have the moral authority to force me, okay, to calibrate your defense, to calibrate your protection when you're assaulting me. If you're going to come after me, I have the own things that are going on in my own life, right? I may have just had a shoulder surgery a couple months earlier that I can't just get into, what is it called, a fisticuff scuffle. It's going to, you could permanently injure my entire arm, and then my entire future for whatever it is could be at risk. You're putting my life at risk by even starting to want to initiate aggression upon me. I also may have epilepsy, where, because we understand that epilepsy affects the prefrontal cortex. Hold on, wait a second. Hold on. Just let me finish. I could have, because guess what? Both of these things were in the case of Carmelo Anthony. Okay, you could trigger a seizure that could be deadly. He had no moral obligation to protect his defender or to protect his assaulter. If you're going to initiate aggression, okay, he's innocent.
He's innocent. That's what you
He's innocent. He did not murder that boy.
He did not murder him. This is the most
If you're innocent, you don't have any punishment for what you're doing wrong. Right. You have to do something wrong to get into trouble. What I'm saying is that
even in the video, he went up to him first and he said, "Hey, Greg, you don't belong here. Can you please go over there?" And my teacher assigned him to tell other people that didn't belong in that nook that they couldn't be there. He said, "Hey, man, you couldn't be there." He even tried to be polite at first with his body language in the beginning of the video. If you watch the video, he was coming up politely with his body language. Then when he didn't listen, he tried to push him gently until they got a little bit more. Yeah, and then he got stabbed for it. He got stabbed for doing his job.
Hold on. Another student comes and tells you what to do.
Yeah.
That's exactly why.
My
That's
school had
exactly
home.
why
Listen. My
students
school
don't
had
have
home
any
monitors.
type of authority. Now,
My school had home monitors. You would have to
Okay,
just
so
walk
and
past
home
it and take
monitors,
it to a hole.
that's correct. That's
Should they get stabbed?
That has nothing to do with one student telling another student what to do.
That's their job to do that. Another teacher assigned them.
They can say things to them. They could say Austin could have went up to him and talked to him for hours, right? But the problem was when Austin decided to initiate violent force.
When he tried to push him out of the nook, he got stabbed for that is a responsible reaction to getting shoved out of a nook where you're not supposed to be in, getting stabbed.
I'm saying that it was responsible.
But you're saying that he's innocent. So which is it?
It was stupid. I'm saying I think it was a lot of things. I think that it was. I think listen. I think that there are a lot of things that could have been done differently. But do I think that he should be guilty of murder? Absolutely not. It doesn't mean the mens rea. He didn't. There was no intention. He didn't know the capable. before. He had no relationship with the kid. The kid came up to him, started to use violent force. He was, even in the moment that the stab happened, you can even look at the type of the stab, the lateral stab, and how when it was a defensive, it wasn't an offense, yes, it wasn't the support. Okay, do you know how the stab, do you know what the stab
It's not that you're being defensive. What they're talking about. That is in the first stab you weren't even retreating. He's talking about the first stab he was retreating.
Of course you could. What do you mean the first stab? There was only
When
one
he first
stab.
got stabbed, he was retreating.
There
He
was
was
only
holding
one
his
stab.
stab wound bleeding.
After he stabbed, he was able to get away. Right.
I can read.
You're just trying to justify.
Stabbed the second time.
I wouldn't say justify the stab.
Let me get it. I heard the both of you guys.
Carmelo moved away.
I hear the both of you guys, right? Like, Eva, I'm going to go on your argument, right? Because in the beginning, I felt the same way as you. Let's assume that Carmelo Anthony was in self-defense and he killed him, right? To say that he's innocent is a little too far-fetched. If anyone who comes after me, right? If it's a punch, if it's a push, I have the decision. Either I can run away. If I can't run away, I can tell someone. If I know these people are bullies, I can be a snitch. But these days in our community, snitching and doing the right thing is not seen as cool. We like to get our lick back. If that were me, there's different alternatives that could have been better. I don't think that Carmelo's Anthony's life was in danger to kill that man. I don't think he warranted a death. I don't think so. To call it, to say that he was defending himself, I get it, and I can get it. But you're saying he's defending himself. I don't think he's defending his life. And that's my argument where it's like, okay, if what you say is true, I still don't think he's innocent. He deserves to have jail time. Now, the number of years in jail is my debate. What he meant to do in jail for.
Right. Because you're not defending yourself. You're not defending your life. You're defending yourself. If you punch that other kid and then there was a whole fallout, I would understand. They're kids. Kids get into that. No fault. It's not that it was school property. So the fact that you even had a knife in the first place is also a question mark.
You sound like, listen, my daughter,
I sound like the people at the school. That means I sound smart.
yeah, no, my daughter got into a fight at school. The bitch did a sucker punch in the back. Her back was turned, and she got it from the back. And then my daughter, sprayed pepper spray on her. And my daughter got in trouble because she had pepper spray on her. And I was trying to tell them she was not intentionally using the pepper spray. Just for her, she uses the pepper spray in case she wants, if she takes public transportation. So that's the reason why she had the pepper spray. But my daughter got in trouble.
Yeah, pepper spray would have been a way better altercation. If Carmelo Anthony had pepper spray, I would have been okay. Yeah, he's touching you. He's gonna say you pepper spray bastard. But you stabbed him. You take this little kid's life because you did it. And he's telling you he's not dead because of it.
This is the argument. I will give more talking points to the left. The only argument the left have for this debate is the systematic unfairness when it comes to the number of years and how they persecuted Carmelo Anthony. They can go based on, okay, well, a white guy, he got less crime for doing a rape or a murder. I can understand that debate. But to say that Carmelo was doing something out of, saving his life or doing a justice thing, let's go with that, right? Imagine that Carmelo Anthony doesn't get in trouble. What message does it send to America? Okay, if anybody pushes you, if you're black or any other minority, you can just kill somebody and you're fine.
The message. That's the message.
That's what you're conveying. That's what you're conveying.
Hold on. That's because people don't understand what the law is and what it's supposed to do and the litigation, right? That's not what it's conveying. We already have laws and we can say you can't hurt people, you can't kill people, you can't do these things. What the litigation is saying whether you're guilty or not of those laws that already exist. We already have those moral standards. It's not saying that you can go and what it's saying is with those very specific circumstances, in that very specific
Bima, it's like you're making Carmelo Anthony out into a hero. He's a murderer. He stabbed someone and killed someone and took someone's life. He's not a hero. You're making him out into a hero. He's not a hero. He made a bad decision. How dare you? How dare you?
And that's all it was. It was just a bad decision from dumb kids to do dumb things. He had a knife on him. He didn't know how to react in the situation. Didn't know what to do. He reacted in fear and impulse. And now stop justifying something that happened off of impulse. People do stupid shit like that. And if you gotta justify the stupid shit, then everyone else is gonna start doing it. And then we're gonna start seeing a problem.
Again, it's not justification. It's with
Yes, you are.
It's with this.
Just say that, okay, he did something dumb and now he's in prison. You wanna argue the prison time? Let's argue the prison time. You're trying to give him justice. He's a child. He's unarmed on school grounds. What are you talking about, Bino? You wanna run a line to everybody but the people that were solely involved with it.
That's crazy. To tell you the truth, I've been in many altercations as Carmelo Anthony. I could have killed him, but I didn't.
Yes. Even in Jersey, the stand your ground laws are very specific. Yes, you can have a firearm, but you need to have it in a specific place. Yes, you can shoot someone, but only if they threaten you with a weapon. Like there's certain things you just can't do.
I get the situation. Like if it was like.
You can't stick a knife in someone else's chest, right? I'm pretty sure that's illegal, correct? If you're in a tent and somebody's like, hey man, you gotta get out of here, you can't be in here, you can't just like pull a knife out and stick it in somebody's chest, right? Hello?
In this case, I don't think the white boy that was going after Carmelo Anthony, the black boy, to kill Carmelo Anthony. I don't think the evil intent behind the bully, the quote-unquote bully, is that high that warrants him to be killed. I think that indeed the guy that was he deserved to get killed. Yeah, I don't think it was to that level. So
It's not about a deserve, right? That's also not what we're litigating. Nobody deserves to be killed, okay?
Just say he doesn't deserve jail time.
That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is, in this particular case, is Carmelo Anthony, that's what's being litigated. You understand that the prosecution, he's the defense. It is up to the state, the prosecution, to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he committed murder with this criteria, this mens rea. And if you look at it, it just doesn't meet it.
It's murder.
You could say that because you have no, come up with a better argument instead of just like.
Well, let's say, how about this? Let's say I'm at a convenience store. Wait, moderator, let me give you an example. I'm at a liquor store. Moderator. Let me give you a good example. Let's say, moderator. Hello, Bima, Earth to Bima. Let's say I'm at a liquor store and I'm a little intoxicated, okay, and I've been drinking a little bit all day long. And I go to the cash register and I got a box of iced tea vodkas and I don't have the money and the cashier says, "Sir, if you don't have the money, you're gonna have to leave." And I'm like, "What the fuck did you say to me?" And then the cashier's like, "You gotta leave, sir, if you don't have the money to pay for all this iced tea vodka." And then he he kind of intimidates me a little bit. So I pull a knife out and I stick him in the chest and I kill him. But I'm black and he's white. And he's a college student and I'm a college student. And so the point is, sticking knives in people's chests, that's illegal. And if you don't know that, you are fucking retarded. I am complete.
Yes.
Yeah, and exactly, what he did was he totally just made a non-comparison, changing who an aggressor is. He actually created an aggressor. Alistair created the aggressor, and he made the argument. He's making an argument for that. I would agree that if somebody stabbed somebody else because they're unhappy with what somebody else is, you have to have the initiation of violence force. It has to be self-defense. You have to be defending yourself. Carmelo Anthony was defending himself.
That's not a way to defend yourself. Stabbing This
You
isn't.
can't
This
say
isn't
the
a
word R
if
word
not. This is just
on
what
TikTok.
time he's gonna get.
The R word
So,
is
what is it
illegal.
saying he's gonna
Stab
get?
the child. If you're sick, you have to make the same argument. So a child stabbed a child. So then why would you? So if it's a child,
Because he's old enough to
use
get
that
convicted.
neutrality. Is it right? Oh, but now he's no longer a child. Is he an adult or a child?
He's a student. He's a young. Hold on. He's a student. First of all, he's 17.
Okay, so then
They
why
said
are
he
you
was
making
17.
the?
So
So
technically, he's a minor.
And so do you see how you use that appeal to emotion? This is bandwagon appeal. This is a logical fallacy. You're trying
Doesn't
to
matter.
look.
He still
Hold
has
on.
to.
When
He
you're
still has
referring
criminal
to
charges.
Austin Metcalf, the 6'1", 200 and something pound dude, right? All of a sudden he's a child, and then Carmelo Anthony is what? A criminal.
17. Yes, they were both 17. What are you talking about?
Point made.
There is no point. What are you talking about? You didn't make the point. You just said the facts. To just try to make it sound. What are you talking about?
Mr. Emotional. Better argument.
Thinking. Bima, I have a question.
Another insult. Come up with
I
that.
have a question. No, serious question. Because no, this is good. This is good. I have a question, Bima. What should happen to Carmelo Anthony? What do you think would be better?
What I think would be better is Carmelo Anthony should be able to walk away from this situation.
Exactly. Free. He didn't do nothing wrong.
Where other people who have used self-defense to defend themselves, you think that his life is going to be lollipops and gumdrops raining down? He's killed somebody. Even if he walks away from this, his life is permanently changed. His mentality, the things that he has to live with, the things that he has to make up. This is going to be a lifetime journey and war on him, by him and on himself. That's why when you make a decision like this, please, this is why this isn't the commonplace action.
Yeah, but see, Bima, look at Mangione. Look at Mangione. But Bima, Mangione did the same thing. Mangione did the same thing. Yeah, Mangione did the same thing. He killed. No. You can't apply one thing to one person and not say it applies to another. Is it because he's black and we live in structural white racism? Is that it? Because Mangione did the same thing. Mangione killed a person in cold blood. Mangione did the same thing. Same laws got to apply to the same situation. It's the same situation. They killed him. Broad daylight. Broad daylight. The guy, Bryan Cranston or whatever his name was from United Healthcare, was like, "Don't kill me, bro. I'm not a criminal." And he's like, "Yes, you are. You're a fucking criminal and you're intimidating me and the world and all the Americans who can't get health insurance. Now I have to kill you. You're going to die." And then he killed him. And so the same rules apply, that he should be able to walk free too. Why can't he walk free? If Carmelo can walk free, why can't Mangione walk free? Explain to me. Why don't I understand your brain? Hello?
Is a completely different story. Mangione took fate in his own hands to do something he thought was right. This is a completely different situation. What we're talking about is two high schoolers getting into an altercation and one getting stabbed for it. Now you're saying that the other side doesn't deserve any jail time because.
Wait a second. I don't know how we can continue to go back and forth. At the end of the day, he's getting a new trial, to appeal the 34 years. So that's just it. Like,
I don't think he deserves 30 years. We can agree that I don't think he deserves 30 years. Maybe because, mind you, he's a kid. You do stupid things as a kid. You do stupid things off of pure impulse. But to justify these quick impulses while you're young and dumb is what we're not gonna do.
It's not a justification. Again, you fundamentally.
Yes, you are, because you're saying he should walk scot-free for just stabbing someone in the stomach or the chest, whatever it was.
What law is, Fangs.
Okay, but the law is not. Okay, no. This is what you're. Okay, Bima, let me finish. Let me finish this because you got this very confused.
this is supposed to be a
You just listen to
case
yourself.
well, yeah, because you're saying total stupid shit.
Because you're
And
saying,
you're
oh,
talking
well, it's
about
self-defense, so he should
what
kill
is
him.
gonna be
It's just
justified, but
self-defense.
you're
It doesn't
talking
work
about
that way.
justification. We're not talking about
That's not the right justification for
That's
it.
not, no, what I'm saying is
What do you
that's
say?
not, when there's, I already explained it. I mean, could
He
you
should
be-
stab him because he was
you know
threatened
what
and he
I'm
was the
saying,
aggressor.
friends?
He
No,
got stabbed
I'm
because
not
he was the
talking about
aggressor.
I'm not talking about that. I'm
But you said
talking
it. It
about
came out
in
your
law.
mouth.
When we're talking about law, listen, but that's not what I'm referring to. I'm talking about
Oh,
in
God.
law. When somebody, yeah, exactly. Oh God, and mute up because it's saying you don't know what you're talking about. Clearly, either
I had a
respond to
whole
what I'm
debate
saying
on
and make
this.
an argument.
How can be
Clearly you
talked
lost.
about, but not the eternal tongue. Names can be named, but not the eternal name. As the origin of heaven and earth, it is nameless. As the mother of all things, it is nameless. So as ever hidden, we should look at its inner essence. When all the world recognizes beauty as beauty, this in itself is ugliness. When all the world recognizes
Right or wrong, it is stopping at risk because we're gonna create a domino effect. If I kill someone and I'm at a young age, dude, I'm out of control. Even if I'm right, psychologically, there's something wrong. I need help.
Well, see, the progressive pluralists who say that stabbing a knife into someone's chest doesn't mean that's mental health illness or breaking the law or illegal. Hello? Oh, you can make a finer point than that?
The reason why I would go to jail, even if I'm right or wrong, is because at a young age, I don't have the mental or emotional capability to process this. If I get away scot-clean free, it reinforces the belief that I'm powerful. I can do anything now. If anybody fucks with me, I can just stab you, whether I'm right or wrong or not. So, Bima, to say that he's innocent and just to walk away, that's putting your lives at risk at this point.
Well,
He's right or wrong or not.
I would like to make an alternative point, which is put me in the queue, Bima.
What I'm saying is he's not guilty. He's not guilty of murder. That's what I'm saying. That what they have on the books is what qualifies as murder. I'm saying that criteria has not been met. Okay? Now, if you're going to make the claim that he has that there's some sort of mental illness, then he shouldn't be in a jail. He should be getting mental health. He should be in some sort of institution for people with.
Yeah, that's called high school, right? Where he should be, right?
You're now choosing the industrial prison.
Is there like an alternative for his high school football program? And
Potential mental, but hold on, but the evidence doesn't even support that, dude. That's the problem. That's where your argument fails short, like significantly. This kid, okay, Carmelo Anthony, he had multiple jobs in the real world, multiple years. He was a responsible kid, 16 years old. He was working at Foot Locker for 2 full years in the real world with real adults, not on high school grounds, not with the other high schoolers. He's going out and he's working a job and getting paid. He worked at HEB at the grocery store. Hold on. So now you're understanding that this kid has an entirely different understanding of what is and what isn't appropriate to be touching. You can't. His responsibility level was so high that that's what, if anything, he understood what and how society's supposed to act, and that you just can't walk around and assaulting people. You can't assault people. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
Austin, hold on, wing fangs. Unfortunately, Austin Metcalf was an immature, uneducated idiot that thought that he could still, immature, hormonal boy that is using, the guise of high school, right? High school grounds to be able to assault somebody, which if he were to do that same exact thing 100 feet off school grounds, he would have been arrested.
Bima, try to land your point, because some of us got to get to bed and get to work tomorrow. Put me in the queue. Thank you, Bima.
Wait a second. He would have been arrested, okay? So what are the other things that says, oh, wait a second, it shows that he has a great GPA. He's disciplined. He knows what discipline is. He goes home and he does his school, a great GPA. Wow, okay. What else? He was the captain of his football team elected. Hold on a second. So an entire group of his peers said,
hello, testing mic.
Hold on. You're the best person out of all of us on this team to lead us, to guide us, for us to look to for advice and instruction and information and guidance. You're the number. Oh, wait, hold on. It wasn't just one team. He was team elected captain from two separate teams, two completely different.
The AI summary says that we are debating the severity of self-defense and the justice system.
What it was to act in the real world, what should and shouldn't be appropriate, and when initiation of violent aggression is being used upon you, and how to defend yourself in the real world. Unfortunately, Austin Metcalf failed that test, and he fucked around and found out.
Fucked around and found out justice is not the legal system. She just summarized her rant with fuck around and find out, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't justify plunging a knife into people's chests, now does it? It doesn't, does it? Put me in the queue, Bima. I need to make an alternative point about the room and about the topic. Put me in the queue. Hello?
Take notes. Watch what D does. Watch D. He makes good arguments. He responds to what I'm saying. No. Mute up.
Well, when you're dealing with an ignoramus, it's hard.
Hold on. Another insult. Wonderful. That's all you're good for.
Projection alert. Let's get the projection mirror out and turn on the projection activation system. It's just ad hominem projection at this point. Put me in the queue as well. I was before you, Shar. A.K.A. Rayabya. Yeah, I want to make an alternative point about the topic and about the room. And it's that if you come here to get gaslit and you get angry communicating with Bima or Himothy or Beaver, the saying is, if you can make someone angry, you can make them your slave. And I just want to say that if you come here and get angry, damn, somebody got a little angry. Somebody got a little angry.
Indeed, the hidden and the manifest give birth to each other. Difficult and easy complement each other. All in short exhibit each other. High and low set measure to each other. Voice and sound harmonize each other. Back and front follow each other. Therefore the sage manages his affairs without ado and spreads his teaching without talking. It is nothing to the teeming things. He rears them but lays no claim to them. He does his work but sets no store by it. He accomplishes his task but does not dwell upon it. And yet it is just mistake.